complains that some are just holed up and waiting for the tree of life to topple over. Their pal Gulp built a floating raft with a bar in it. He just sits there all day getting blitzed on radium syrup. Says the bar floats, but it's somewhere on the surf archipelago. Believes Gulp's bar is in the part of the goo shore called the surf archipelago. It has the best surfing around. Look for the waves. And when you're done surfing the goo, join Gulp for a drink. Thinks Gulp probably has more than... Embrace the day. Back on your own 2 feet? Sometimes what you'll see doesn't feel real until it brings you back to that particular moment, like stepping into a time machine. It's hard to shake these memories and their accompanying feelings. Our brains play tricks on us, so it will take effort to avoid them. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. You weren't supposed to know how to start the automaton pew-pew pang, but clearly you figured that out way back then. Feels like a dip in the water would be wonderful. Hey, there's some e-waste. Says to wander back this way anytime you like.
Ein Autsch alla George.
Ja. Let's see. Knowing there is a beach out there somewhere doesn't mean you need to take a dip. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry too, but always thirsty for more. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wants to know if he could point you towards something fun to drink, so that you could share with the tipsy tipster. You sure look like you could use a drink. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, that's the point. But you can't stop trying new ones, or life gets dull. Says you should toast the end of the world, but you'd better hurry. It's coming soon. Respects how you take care of yourself first instead of trying to swallow too much. Thinks it's funny you wound up with the Jagni. They drink so little, like birds. Guesses someone has to be, but he can't swallow the sight of it. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching pippies flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. This is way worse than moist. The moistest. Under your own power now. Let's see. You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. Shopkeeper claims you... green in the bank. Get rid of it. You got the best of that. Head. Shop sharp. We are lonesome animals that spend all our life trying to be less lonesome. The vendor says the light of day shows how bad the world has become. See that plastic scrap over there? Ah, see that e-waste? Always handy. Point it in the right direction and blast. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. The gooing of the water from the ground is spreading. Locked up tight? Hand them defeat. Scrapalicious. You're here for a reason. It's up to you to figure out what that is. For when you want quantity over quality. Smell that? Biohazard nearby. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Heroes are only heroes for others, but they do the work, or they're heroes to no one. Gulp says he'll bibble anything once, as long as it's drinkalish. That leads him to the bottom of that particular bottle. Radium syrup. If he's not in a state to go looking, so he's counting on you. Says they might be good for other things, but not for anything better than adding zing to your drink.
Take that light!
Really, you ought to use your head instead of your gut.
See? The darkness lets you get away with anything.
Just remember, you can always find...
Dark! When you already know you're right.
You never know if there's anything under a beach, do you? That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Didn't have much else to say, so